Joining us now to talk more about this is former Acting Border Patrol Commissioner Mark Morgan. Mark, good morning. Nice to have you back on. My goodness, how about that? By the way, if the border is closed, what's the border look like when it's open with Joe Biden as president?
Exactly, Rob. That's the question. Look, the secretary, he is continuing to lie to the American people. And Rob, if I can, just real quick, just a couple of stats. First of all, last month alone, if our borders are closed, why did 178,000 illegal aliens apprehend trying to illegally enter? That's, like you said, that's more than 20 years. Right now, they're releasing 60 to 80% of the families that are coming in. All unaccompanied minors, other than those from Mexico, they're releasing in the United States. In the last month, their own stats, look at cbp.gov, their website, they say they're releasing 40% of those that are illegally entering. In addition to that, they're looking at 1,000 gotaways a day because Border Patrol being pulled off the line to provide humanitarian assistance to the families and unaccompanied minor surge that they created.
And that, by the way, that gotaway number,
it's an absolute lie.
Yeah, that gotaway number, for people at home, those are people that literally they say they got away, somebody that outruns Border Patrol. That number's an estimate. We've talked about this before. That number could be a whole lot higher. According to the Washington Post, a newspaper, by the way, that just did an expose on Joe Biden's extensive workout routine and his favorite flavor, a Gatorade, which is orange, apparently. According to their report, ICE deported less than 3,000 people last month. That is the lowest level we've ever seen. That's the lowest level on record, which basically means to me, if you cross the border illegally, guess what? You get to stay, right?
That's exactly right. And look, early on, people said this administration didn't have a strategy. I disagree from day one. This is their strategy, is to create the welcoming centers and opening our borders, which they are, and then releasing them as fast as possible and then not deporting them. Look, the secretary was asked about the number in April. The ICE deportations, for the first time in history on record, the deportation numbers for a single month dipped below 3,000. That per agent, that's like an arrest per 2 months. That's one arrest every 2 months. And this secretary's asked about it. He said, well, I really don't know about that stat. And then he doubles down and says, but I don't think it's accurate. First of all, which is it? He can't not know about it and then say it's accurate or not. Right. But this is just another example of where this secretary's at. He's been more of a politician rather than defending our borders as he should as the Secretary of Homeland Defense.
Mark, you wrote a piece in the Washington Times recently that says, quote, Mr. Mayorkas pleaded ignorance, dodged questions, and blamed everyone and everything for the crisis, including climate change. He sounded more like a politician, unquote. Is that part of the problem? Are these bureaucrats, these officials like Dr. Fauci, Rochelle Walensky, and you can add Alejandro Mayorkas, have they become politicians instead of experts in their fields?
Unequivocally, yes. And look, the American people, we can differ on policy, right? That's one of the great things about this country, and we can debate policy. But what you're not entitled to is to make up your facts. And what the American people need to know are people in these positions. They're not political positions. They're not politicians. They should be being honest with the American people. And his last testimony in front of Congress, that was the last straw for me. He had the opportunity to just be honest with the American people, accept responsibility for what they've done. But he refused to do so, and he continued to double down on his lies. And so no wonder the American people are confused. They don't know what to believe because the people that should be being honest with them are not. They're lying and they're being politicians rather than being the Secretary of Homeland Defense. We deserve better in this country.
I'm going to be really curious to see what the May numbers are. June is right around the corner. I'm going to be really interested to see how bad the situation is once we get the May numbers. Mark Morgan, so good to see you again. Thanks for coming on. We appreciate it.
You bet.